Hi everyone. We're gonna do the Fayetteville Ultra tomorrow. This is my first Ultra, so I have my bib. The cool thing about these bibs is that they're like a more meshy like material and almost like it's like super stretchy versus your other one that was like
Yeah, like
flimsy.
they upgraded in quality since last weekend.
Yeah.
I've heard and they were crappy here. They're actually stretchy and cool. And they have like a little tag on them too.
Yeah, they have a tag on the back, so I'm excited. And I'm just like, it's just my first Ultra, so I'm just like, I'm wearing my Ultra bib. So I'm excited, but let's get into talking about the course. My goal is just to finish. I think Nick is going to try to finish in. How quickly are you trying to
I
finish?
want to see if I can beat it in under 8 hours because with the Tough Mudder Infinity coming up, I want to be able to see if I can get the 50K there to earn the belt. So this will be a good test since that venue's pretty flat as well.
Yeah, so let's get a look at our venue. Woo! So important things, as we said last time, we need to make sure we can look at the menu, and then we also want to make sure we have our race day program. So let's talk about the map first. So we got super elusive sneak peek, and by sneak peek, it's we haven't been here before, so we didn't see what it looked like. But it looks like what you end up doing is you enter in from the farm, I think like over here, and you kind of come around to the starting. Like the parking's kind of all over the place with here.
I think the
And
parking's the
is
gray
the
area.
parking the gray area? It didn't
Yeah.
seem like it was the gray area though, from what I was seeing.
That's okay. There'll be dirt
Yeah,
and stuff
actually,
like
you're right. This is going to be the parking over here, this gray area.
that.
But you kind of like come in and then loop and then get into here from. It looks like it's going to be involved. So, anyways, I think they have the general parking and then they have just like fields and fields to park people in. So, if you are in a car that cannot do well in mud, you might want to find someone else's car to drive. We have a super forester, so that works better. So, again, it's a farm. If you haven't been to a farm venue, be careful with the mud. So, again, we have the starting area over here. So, and then the finish line will be here. Now, what we did see from here is I took a couple of pictures. Let me share those of kind of what the starting area will look like. We're going to get to this page in just a moment. I'm so excited. So at the finish line, this is the ultra transition area. So right before you get to the A-frame, here's the finish line here. You will cut into the ultra transition area and then you leave out this way. So
Yeah.
that's going to be kind of and the starting line's right over here. So really pretty much this over here is going to be where the festival area is. And then they have this diabolical mud crawl towards the end. So there you go. Fine. That's what we're looking forward to.
Looks like you'll scrape your knees on the rocks.
Yeah, be careful. This
That's
is
never
just
fun.
gonna be mud, and more mud. So that's what the finish line looks like. There was what multi-rig. Like once you come through here, you go to a dunk wall. They have an actual dunk wall, and then they have the slip wall into something else behind it, and the multi-rig.
They
And
also had the Helix, which that's an obstacle that's been missing for a
yeah.
couple years. So that'll be cool to see that one back.
So you'll see Helix is like over if this was extending, it would be all the way back in this field. Then you come around to the mud crawl and everything. And then yeah. Here's slip
Slip
wall
wall, the
over
dunk
here.
walls down
Yeah.
there.
Dunk wall, slip wall. There was something behind slip wall. Was it like wasn't a hurdle? Maybe it was a smaller wall.
That
I don't know.
might have been Hercules hoist. It was one of a rope.
Well, there's the rope climb towards the end. So like here, right over here is where the rope climb is.
Mm.
So looks like last couple ops. Oh, spear throw's right at the end too. That's
Yeah.
the other one. Spear throw, rope climb into A-frame. It looks like their A-frame is very loose. Yay. So that's what the venue kind of looks like for right now. But let's get back to the map over here. The map. Alrighty. So we have our whole loop and everything for here. So it looks like it's definitely just going around somebody's farm. Now, we haven't been here before, but everyone says that this is a really good venue to do your full first ultra, and it will be two whole loops to be the ultra. Now, as you guys know, last week we did the trifecta in New Jersey, and that total elevation gain for the whole weekend was like 9,000 feet.
That was 11,000.
Well, for you, it was
Yeah,
11,000
for
for
the
just the
ultra.
ultra. For me, doing the ultra super and sprint, that was about 9,000. But Nick did more. More. But if
Yeah.
you look, our total elevation gain is just under 2,000 for the entire ultra. So max slope, max grade, like this is saying very small grade average slope 1 to 2 on a treadmill, you barely notice that. So it appears from what we've heard is that you kind of go deep, go into like these like little like water runoff ravine, almost quarry looking areas. You kind of go in and out of them. But as you can see, we're pretty much at sea level and the highest elevation gain is 250, lowest elevation gain is 150. So you're just going up and down through 100 feet of elevation, which is like pretty much like 2 laps of our park that we lap for our normal running. So this will be fun. But here's the thing, it's going to be what, 60-ish as a high and raining. So I think one of the big lessons we learned from New Jersey was wear something as an exterior layer that will get the water off of you. I probably will skip a lot of the crawls until I get to like the last bit. Like that last time I go through that mud crawl, I'll do it. It's fine. I just don't want to get cold and get hypothermia. I'm a little traumatized, but I mean, it looks like we're going through the woods.
Yeah, the course looked really
Yeah.
flat. Like when we were standing out there, you could see the tape go for like a long time versus at like these mountain venues, you just see it go up and then disappears. So
Hmm.
I think, yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna
We're,
be really flat.
we're cows. They get to cheer you on. The
Let's look
cows.
at the cutoff
Yep,
times.
so let's look at the cutoff time. So again, we're doing this looks like a fun weekend for a trifecta for the super and sprint on Sunday for everybody. The big thing is we'll reference these water stations. So water station 8, I think, is the final cutoff. And then there's one that's going to be over here, which I think is going to end up being like a 7 foot wall. And then there's another one down here. So let me pull up that list. I should have it side by side. That might be nicer. Photos. Here we go. So I took a picture of this. Again, they have the cutoff times on the race day, but they put these here. Yeah.
So two
Water
o'clock,
Station 7, that's what it was.
six, and it always changes like during the race. I feel like they usually add more time. What appears
These
to
are such specific times and mileage.
5:37 exactly.
Yeah, too bad. You get there at 5:38. Bye.
Close closure at 9. Working headlamp is required for 5.
Yep, so always have your headlamp. So vertical cargo net will be at mile, what was that, 20, 21.8, 24. So let's say 22, 24, and 26 from what, 5:30 to like 6:45 to 7:30. Okay, that's the numbers that we're going to kind of remember there for that. Seeing where these are on the map. What's the first? Okay, transition area 2. You have to leave by 2. This is going to be my hardest thing. I have to just get to transition and then you have to leave transition. Right, Nick? That's the hardest part is leaving
It's
transition.
the easiest part. You just change, you get your food, and you keep moving.
I'm
Easy peasy.
scared. All
Then
right.
where's vertical cargo?
Vertical cargo net is around mile 22. So if we look at the
22.
map, 20 is here. So I'm going to assume vertical cargo net. That's something that might end up on the sprint course. So I would say it's probably around here, if I had to guess.
Probably.
So vertical cargo net, you got to get here. So basically, you have to get back to the sprint course by what? 5:37.
Yeah. Because then
What?
they kind of go like every hour after that. So
Yeah.
like they usually the cutoff's like 2 something. Then they start at like, 5 to 5:30 and then every hour 6 and 7 until the closing.
Okay, so then 6:45, you have to get to water station number 7, which is right here. Pretty standard. So basically, you have to get like a mile and a half down the
The
road.
vendor.
And then Bender, it says it's mile 26. So if we look at this, what would we say? Bender's probably, that's usually one that ends up on the supercourse. I would assume it's probably around here, which is an easy place for people to get swept
Hmm.
right there. So I assume Bender's probably here. And then you have to get to the core, and then you have to get there by 7:30, 38, and then you have to finish by 9. I feel like that's reasonable to get through all of that. I feel like these are reasonable cutoff times. What
Yeah.
do you think, Nick?
Yeah, because even just looking at the map, like if you looked at this map versus like other maps, it looks pretty small. It's just like woo, like one little sprig. I feel like some of them are like branching out and going really far distances. Looks
Yes,
small and compact.
I like that.
Yeah,
Be fun.
you're gonna beat your first ultra.
I'm so excited. I'm excited.
It's gonna be fun. We can add another belt to the collection.
Another vote. Yeah, so
Now we're ready.
hopefully we will see you guys there. I think there might have been one thing on the course thing. We picked up our packets. Yep. I think that's everything that we would need to know about this menu.
Yep.
8 stations,
You may.
cutoff times. Yep. Pretty much the same, but they made them like ultra specific. Oh, beast cutoff time. So if you're doing the beast, these are your cutoff times as well.
5:30 and 6:45.
Yep.
No
And you
failing.
need to have a headlamp. It says 4 p.m. here. It said 5 p.m. on the other one. Just have a headlamp.
Yeah. And I feel like sometimes they're not even like strict about it, but sometimes they are. It's just fair to have it.
Especially if it's going to be a cloudy day, you're going to have less light as it gets like a normal day where you would have at least some light left over. On a cloudy day, it's going to get real dark real fast because it got real dark when you did the ultra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Friends.
We'll see you tomorrow at the race.
The bib.
The bib. And the Fayetteville Ultra.